speaking of managers, Stephen Vogt. I killed the guy on opening day.
Did you?
On opening day, just because I didn't like that Austin Hedges was in the lineup on opening day.
Oh.
And then there was the weird thing with the bunt. I can't remember the whole situation.
Oh, that was against the A's. Shit.
But I got to say that Stephen Vogt has done an excellent job for 16 games. And the Guardians have their best record to start a season through 16 games since 2011. And, of course, 2011, the season went down the tubes in a hurry. Remember that team?
Matt Lawton.
Now, this team's much more talented. Zach
I think that was the Matt Lawton team.
Yes. Zach and I were talking about the team. He mentioned Shelley Duncan.
Oh, God.
Which was a good pull there.
Yeah.
And Ezekiel Carrera, maybe?
Yeah. They were trying to rebuild. They got off to a hot start.
Right. They were like 35-15 or some crazy start. And then that was it. Because that was the year I moved here. And I moved here in August. I moved here in July, but we went on the air in August. But I remember we knew we were going to start the radio station when baseball season started, so I was following the Indians closely that year. And when I thought they were going to suck like everybody else did in the beginning of the year, they got off to this great start. And then, of course, the whole summer they were terrible.
Yeah.
But this team's more talented than that. And but first of all, kudos to Stephen Vogt, who so far in his rookie season as manager, I think has done a heck of a job.
Lineups, bullpens,
keeping guys fresh. The bullpen he's done a really nice job with.
Pressing all the right buttons. And hand up, I was not a David Fry fan, but
he's done a nice job.
He can play. He can mash lefties, man. He can play.
And he has position. They have some guys with position versatility.
Yeah.
He moved him around a bunch.
Yeah.
He moved Arias and listen, it's only been a couple of days. But Arias, signs of life from Arias these last couple of days.
Yeah.
He hit that bad boy off the back deck.
They did
everything. And
from
Florial had signs of life, too.
I thought Florial, I said before, I thought him starting both games of that doubleheader was like, this is your chance.
Yeah, I thought he was days away from getting DFA.
I did, too.
And he may still be.
Because Manzardo's coming sooner than later.
Even though he's not off to a particularly good start.
He's still coming.
But he's coming, yes.
But the Arias thing, they tried for years to hand him the starting shortstop job. Well, not years. I shouldn't say that.
No.
For years, he was considered the heir apparent at that spot.
Yes.
And they tried last year to give it to him, and he just couldn't do it. And Rocchio's done okay. But, I've always been a big Arias fan. He's got a cannon for an arm. And there's a lot of juice in the bat if he can make enough contact.
Well, he sure was a spark yesterday because that game for the first 4 innings.
Well, 6 innings, really.
It was great outfield play. I love the guy robbed José. I was mad at that, but it was the outfielders did what they were supposed to do. Infielders made some really good plays. Pitching was Curry reminded me a little bit of McKenzie in his second start. It wasn't a lot of strikeouts, a lot of hits, but the outfields did a really good job.
Well, the Guardians have a good defensive team.
Yeah, he would just
let the guys get
exactly. He put the ball in play.
He did a nice job, Curry.
Yeah,
he did.
I don't think he's going to overpower a lot of lineups.
No.
But they're going to need him.
By the way, the Guardians have to call up Ben Lively tomorrow because of the rain out and the doubleheader. We were saying would it be Curry or Lively, but now they got to call them both up. The question is, and Zach and I were talking about it this morning, and we weren't sure what the answer was, is who's getting off the roster?
I don't know.
He said maybe Eli Morgan. I thought maybe they'd send Curry back down to bring up Lively.
I think that's it. And I told Zach that. You've already burned the option on him, so just send him back down.
Yeah.
McKenzie's floating around out there. You could come up with something and IL him and give him some time because he has not pitched well.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what they do.
Guardians have the second best record in the American League right now. I think a half game or a game back of the Yankees for the best record in the American League. The doubleheader Saturday was ugly. It was awful. But a nice bounce-back win on Sunday and then to win the day game yesterday, the Patriots day game. And great pitching across the board for the Guardians. The bullpen did a heck of a job. Mm-hmm. What's stunning is, Jason, if I would have said to you when the season started, I wouldn't tell you anything else but this. Nothing else about the team.
I think I know where you're going.
Shane Bieber's done for the season. And Logan Allen, Tanner Bybee, and Tristan McKenzie all have ERAs of 5 or higher. You would have said the Guardians' record would be?
2-14.
Yeah, about
something like that.
About 3 wins right now. Yeah.
2-14.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The bullpen's been, for the most part, great.
Yep.
And the lineup's been really good. And the Guardians, I believe, are still 5th in baseball and 2nd in the American League in runs per game. In runs per game. And the defense has been very good for the most part.
Was it windy there yesterday?
I don't know.
I mean,
Does it really get windy in Fenway, Ty? Because the Green Monster,
Yeah.
The left field bleacher's so high,
Yeah.
it blocks out.
I didn't notice anything.
Because they was hitting it, but like it was the first time I was like, man, they really don't got a lot of power. Like they hitting the ball and but it ain't going where it's supposed to go out the park.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's the wind or something.
I had to go. I was with my wife at the hospital yesterday. She's okay. So I didn't get home until the game was almost over. So I watched the end of the game, and then I went back and did like the rapid fire through the first few innings. I'm skipping all the commercials and stuff.
Yeah, I was here. I was doing the show.
Right. So I didn't get to, I didn't watch it as closely as I normally do the first bunch of innings, but I didn't notice the wind being a big deal.
Yeah, no, I was just, because they was hitting it like, bam, but it just did not travel all the way out. And I was just like, man, maybe we don't got no power like that.
Well, Tyvis, I want to let you know that right now, the Guardians are tied for 12th in Major League Baseball in home runs.
Yes! Woo!
Home runs per game, Mike?
They are 13th.
Hey! Hey!
That was
good. That bold prediction
early,
looking good.
But Tyvis's bold prediction was they finish in the top 15. If you get that right, I'm going to be pretty impressed.
Hey, I said top 5, but I toned it back. So here we go, top 15.
They got to get the starting rotation going.
Yep.
Because the offense, there's still holes there, and they're going to go through some ups and downs.
Yes. Bibby's got to get it going. And it's only
today.
It's only a couple of starts.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him yet.
593.
Yeah, he's been hit around.
But and the strikeout to walk ratio of their starters is awful.
Yeah, I still think he's going to be okay. I thought Gavin Williams would be a little bit closer than what he is.
Yeah.
He's just now started throwing. He's probably not back till May at this point. I thought he'd been back by now, frankly, the way they were talking. So a little bit of concern there, but if he's throwing, then he's progressing in the right direction.
Yeah, it's probably 2-3 weeks he'll be back.
He's progressing in the right direction. They really need those two guys more than I even thought that they were going to.
Yeah, big time, because McKenzie,
you can't count on him to
McKenzie
last
situation
the
is a
season.
huge concern. He should have had the surgery last year, probably. It's easy for me to say it's not my arm.
Right.
But the guys that try to rehab, it just doesn't work.
Well, it's Zach. We mentioned this yesterday.
Yeah.
Zach and I are working on a Tristan story. It'll be out, I think, Thursday. It's going to run. And Aaron Nola is a guy who did pitcher for the Phillies. He's been pitching with a torn ligament for years. Never had the surgery.
Okay, so
had
it
it
worked
in
for him.
It worked for him. He had it. They found it in August. He shut himself down that whole year. He came back the next year throwing harder. And all these tears are different, and it depends on the location and all that. But Tristan's velocity is down. His fastball is getting absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
And it's a big part of his problem. And his whiff rate is down, and opponents are not chasing. Hitters just aren't chasing out of the zone on him. And until that comes back,
he's going to struggle.
He's going to struggle.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's a concerning situation. The next week, you're playing teams that are not very good offensively. Boston, shockingly, their pitching has been great.
Boston's going to be better than people thought.
I don't love their lineup, though.
I liked Kansas City better than people thought, and I like Boston better.
Kansas City is the one that's
Kansas City has won, 11 out of 13 or something? They're playing really well.
They'll regress the mean a little bit. They're not that good.
But those veteran starters they got are
helping.
well.
They're stabilizing the rotation.
Obviously, Reagan's that started last year with him, but Seth Lugo's been really good. He pitched a good game yesterday.
Where's the Twins at in our
They're not playing well. They're like 6-9.
Yeah, they're a mess
6 and 9.
So the top 3 is us, Detroit, and Kansas City?
Yeah. But Minnesota will be better. The White Sox, they might be the worst team in baseball.
Man, I should have put that money down for the Guardians to win. I forgot what the money was.
It's a foregone conclusion.
It ain't, but still, I would have been feeling good.
They're not going to win the division.
I'd have been feeling good right about now. I got some
Minnesota figured out they're not this bad.
Overall, you got to be happy with how the Guardians are playing. And Zach made the point on the Ultimate Cleveland Guardian show this morning. He's 100% right. They're winning games unlike the way they've won them in recent years. Like they've gotten a lot of clutch hits late. They've gotten, what I noticed is they'll blow a big opportunity where it looks like they missed a chance to win the game, and then the next inning they'll come through.
Yeah.
I feel like they haven't really done that. They have been very feisty. They play with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Seems like Stephen Vogt's a great fit right now. Again, long way to go.
Long way to go.
But so far, so good. I mean, they're fun, and they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're a fun baseball team right now.
They're 8-2 on the road, too, which I know is partially who they've played, but still, 10 games, 8-2 on the road. It's the best road record in baseball.
Yeah.
which and maybe it's not as big of a deal, but for a rookie manager, that feels to me a little extra impressive.
Yeah,
They're,
good.
they're coming right back home, right?
Well, no, they got 3 more. Yes, they've got 3 more
After
in Boston.
Boston.
They come home for Oakland. And
I don't remember.
Is it the Astros after Oakland? No, it's a team better than the Astros. Who do they play after Oakland, Mike? They play somebody good and then the Astros, who are struggling, but we know they're good.
They play after the Red Sox.
No, they play Oakland. And then who do they play after Oakland?
They
Play Boston again.
ESPN has a wonky schedule. They go Boston, Oakland, Boston, Atlanta, Houston.
Atlanta, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So you got now a stretch, Boston, Oakland, Boston, where you're not facing good lineups. Boston can pitch. Oakland can't do anything. But then after that, obviously the Braves are as good as anybody, even though their best starter's out for the year, like the Guardians. And then the Astros, who are scuffling, but we know they can pick it up at any time.
Astros pitching's a mess.
Mess. That kid Hunter Brown, he's been awful.
Yeah.
Didn't they have somebody throw the no-hitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Ronel Blanco. And then he pitched like 5 no-hit innings his next start.
Dang. And he's young, right?
No, he's like a journeyman. He's kind of been
Really?
floating around. I shouldn't say a journeyman, but he came out of nowhere. He's not a prospect.
Verlander comes back for them this week, so that might stabilize some things.
Well, we'll see. I mean,
he got hit around.
42.
We got hit around in the rehab, big time.
Yeah, he's
So-
old.